Coming up next on Friends at 5, we are surrounded by a sea of pink and inspirational women as we have a very special Buddy Call News 19 Friends at 5 special. You are not going to want to miss this. Stay with us as we talk about celebrating, remembering, and fighting back. Next on Friends at 5.
From News 19, this is Friends at 5 with Darcy Strickland, Andrea Mock, and South Carolina's weatherman, Jim Gandy.
All right, folks, welcome to this very special edition of Friends at 5. I'm News 19's Darcy Strickland.
And I'm Andrea Mock, and we are so excited to be surrounded by a sea of pink today. And like I said before, all of these inspirational women, you're going to get to hear from all of them in just a little bit. The reason why these ladies are so special, well, there's a million reasons, but especially every single one of these ladies is a breast cancer survivor.
It is the 19th of the month, and every month we remind you to call your buddy and tell them to perform their self-breast exam. We all know that early detection is the key to saving lives. And so a little bit later in our newscast, we're going to get a chance to talk to each and every one of these ladies. They're what surviving and fighting like a girl looks like.
And if you're looking for inspiration, because I know when you're going through your cancer journey, hearing somebody else and how they've made it through is always that little bit of inspiration and hope that you need. Call your friends right now. You are not going to want to miss this next hour of Friends at 5. Have everybody tuning in together, tweeting at it, tweeting about it. Of course, you can tweet at us, Andrea Mock, WLTX, Darcy, WLTX, and we're going to be sharing these stories.
And we do also want to remind you, if you download our free iPad app, WLTX will donate $1 to the American Cancer Society. So you do something for free, and we give ACS $1. All
right, now for our news of the day, for our top 5 at 5, we're going to send things up to the studio with J.R. Barry. J.R.
All right, ladies, thank you so much. The new Continental Tire plant in Sumter is looking to add 1,600 jobs within the next 5 years. Today, the last steel beam was placed in the 1 million square foot facility. Already, 400 employees have been hired to begin work. Once completed, the facility will produce 8 million passenger truck tires per year. The Home Depot is hiring workers right here in the Midlands. Over the next few weeks, the company is looking to hire 50 permanent employees for its Columbia Distribution Center. They're also adding an additional 180 employees as seasonal associates. If you're interested in either a distribution center job or store position, we have a link of where you can apply. Simply go to our website, WLTX.com. The state attorney general and a number of lawmakers are working on a way to fight gun violence. They announced a new bill today that would require the courts to send information about those declared to be mentally ill to a federal gun database. Lawmakers pointed to a recent attempted shooting at a Charleston school as to why this law is needed. They say this would allow gun dealers to see alerts when someone who is mentally ill tries to buy a gun.
This does not create a new restriction. This does not create a new prohibition. Those laws were created back in the 1960s. This simply says that if you're adjudicated mentally ill, you already cannot legally buy a firearm. And if you try to buy a firearm, you have been flagged in this database by the court system in South Carolina. That's all it does. It's a reporting bill, nothing more.
Right now, the Attorney General says our state is one of 12 that do not formally require reporting to the federal gun database. The bill is expected to be filed sometime this week. Wilson said this does not restrict legal gun ownership. Drastic government spending cuts will kick in unless Washington lawmakers find a solution in the next couple of weeks. The cuts would trim $1.2 trillion from federal budgets over a decade's time. The president says the cuts would impact the nation's military readiness and investment in areas like education. Economists say southern states like ours will be among the hardest hit. A high school girls basketball coach has been killed in a hit-and-run accident. 39-year-old Sonia Burgess was killed on Highway 52 in Williamsburg County last night. Troopers say Burgess, who is from Kingstree, was driving an SUV when she swerved to avoid another vehicle approaching in the wrong lane. She overcorrected and her SUV overturned. When Burgess got out of her SUV, she was hit by another vehicle that left the scene. She was the girls' varsity basketball coach at Kingstree.
Today, we saw the rain coming in shortly after daybreak. It was moving through the Midlands, but it moved through pretty quickly, and by midday, much of the rain was beginning to move out. Now, we've seen the clouds, but even those clouds are beginning to move out now, and in fact, skies will be clearing overnight. Temperatures have been kept on the cool side because of the clouds and the rain. 54 degrees now in Greenwood, Columbia, and Orangeburg, Sumter, 49 in Rock Hill, and in Augusta, it's 56 degrees. But tonight, we're expecting clear skies, and with that, temperatures will be dropping. 31 degrees for a low temperature. Tomorrow, we'll see a few clouds coming through in the afternoon. 57 degrees for a high. Still partly cloudy tomorrow night with a low temperature of 31. So some chilly nights the next couple of nights. But let's go outside right now and check on the traffic situation here in Columbia. Fortunately, the rain has moved on out of the picture, and that's improved driving conditions just a bit. We go to the northwest side of town. A little slow here on the Lexington Highway between I-26 and I-20. Out toward Harbison Boulevard on I-26, it's moving pretty nicely. However, at Bush River Road, St. Andrews Road, there is an accident in progress there. On the southeast side of town, it's a little slow at first, but it's not too bad going out the Sumter Highway today. The traffic flow is in pretty good shape. Same thing for I-77 going up toward Blythewood and I-20 out toward Clemson Road. Right now, from downtown to Blythewood should take you about 24 minutes and about 33 minutes from downtown to the village of Sand Hill. Now let's go down to the ladies.
Thank you so much. This celebration of survivors, I tell you what, for years and years and years, WLTX has been promoting self-breast exams.
Absolutely.
We know that early detection is the key to saving lives, and we have women here that are proof positive of that.
They're going to attest to that today. Also, there's different resources here in Columbia that you might not know about. There's support groups. There's also special places that you can go, like the Alayla Cancer Society, that can help you get fitted with your prosthetic and get fitted with everything that you need to get through your journey. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, but really right now we want to feature these ladies. The first thing we're going to start off by doing is getting to know each one of them and their names and how many years they are a survivor.
All right, so we're going to start with this pretty lady here. If you'll tell me your name and how many years you've been a survivor, please.
I'm Deidre Duncan. I'm a stage 4, currently breast cancer patient, and I am living 4 years with breast cancer.
I'm Mandy Bowden, and I'm a 5-year survivor. I'm Amy Kynard, and I beat cancer 5 years ago. I'm Kim Watson. Early detection saved my life. I'm a 6-year survivor.
I'm Melissa Harvey. I'm a 4-year survivor, but the last 3 have been stage 4 survivor.
And I'm Ann Buck, and I was diagnosed in 2007. I've been a 4-year survivor since 2009.
And I'm Elizabeth Rometta, and I'm a 5-year survivor.
Hey, I'm Leslie Hoskins, 1 year, March the 5th. Woo-hoo!
Melinda Petruzzi, 2-year survivor.
Hello, I'm Tammy Rhodes, and I'm a 1-year survivor, and I'd like to say hello to my kids, Taylor and Isabella.
Lisa Kitchens, and I'm a 2-year survivor.
Donna Jackson, and I'm headed toward 2 years.
Hi, I'm Adrian G., 11-year survivor.
Hey, I'm Dana Rayner, and I'm a 2-year survivor.
Hi, Darcy. I'm Sean Fahey, and I'm a 2-year survivor and a proud member of the Pink Posse Phillies. Go Pink!
My name's Janet Snyder. I'm 33 years old, and I am a 2-year breast cancer survivor.
I'm Sonia Moon, and I'm a 23-year survivor. Thanking God every day. And I want to give a shout out to Sharper Image Hair Salon. Thank you.
23 years. Congratulations, Sonia, and a big round of applause for all of you. Oh my goodness.
Now, a lot of these faces might look familiar to you because we have had the pleasure of featuring a lot of these fabulous women on Friends at 5.
Yes.
And we want to talk a little bit about each one of their stories. And one of them, the faces that might look familiar to you, is Miss Adrian.
Miss Adrian G. Take a look at her story.
2002, 7 days before Christmas.
That's the day while on vacation, Adrian G. found a lump in her breast.
Within 5 days, she called me back and she says, Adrian, are you sitting down? And I said, yes. And I was in my bedroom. She says, you have breast cancer.
As a single parent, she knew that survival was her only option, and her oncologist let her know that time was not in her favor.
It's very aggressive. He says something that, we got to work fast on. I was actually in stage 4. 32 weeks of chemo, 7 weeks of radiation. I say God is good because I was not sick a day.
4 months before that potentially deadly diagnosis, she had a mammogram. It showed nothing. And that's why today, early detection is the banner G carries as a survivor of more than 10 years. Adrienne G, good to see you again. My friend, my sorority sister, my survivor. Okay, so 11 years.
Yes, it has been 11 years.
And how have you made it 11 years?
11 years has been fantastic. Like I was telling my story before, I was in stage 4, and I was not sick a day with illness or any type of motion sickness, and it was just, God brought me through it all.
The great thing about your story, the thing that really stuck with me, is that you said that you never had a day when you felt bad.
No, I never had a day that felt bad. I put it in God's hands when I got the news, and I just followed His steps.
What would you say to someone who is recently diagnosed today?
For someone that's diagnosed today, I would tell you, just have the faith. If you have faith, faith will carry you through it. That's all you have to have is faith.
I know you have a daughter, yes. And so obviously when you were diagnosed, the first thing you thought about was surviving for her.
Yes, Mandy was in the 11th grade, I believe, and when she got when I told her, she said cancer. I said, but Mandy, realized that with the technologies and everything that goes on today, that there's so much work and research is in breast cancer that don't worry, I'll be here for you.
You're here. You're living proof of that. You're living proof that stage 4 is not a death sentence.
No, it's not.
All right, Adrienne G, thank you so much. All right, folks, coming up after the break, yes, you can give her a round of applause. That's great. That's the fun part about having a live studio audience. Coming up after the break, we'll talk more about survivors, and we'll talk more about resources right here in the Midlands to help those of you who may have been recently diagnosed. Stay with us.
All right, well, you might remember this lovely lady, or you might remember her pink boa, one of the two. This is Miss Melissa Harvey, and we got the chance to relay together 2 years ago, and she had a wonderful team surrounding her, Melissa's Pink Pals.
That's correct.
And you have 2 beautiful sons who I understand are getting older and bigger.
14 and 9.
And so they're now towering above you.
Yes, especially my 14-year-old. He's now 6'1".
And I know you've been a survivor for 4 years, and the last few years have been pretty tough on you and your family.
It has been. Lots of different treatments, lots of different tests, visit to Duke several times. So yes, it is, but I agree with the first person you talked to. You have to keep the faith, and you can't do it alone.
One of the things that inspires me every time I get to check in with you and we keep up with each other is you never give up, and you're always looking for the next thing and wanting to try it and willing to try it for your family.
Right. I want to be there for my kids, and I want to be there for my husband and my parents. So, sorry, I said I wasn't going to make you cry.
You promised not to make me cry. Too late. Too late for that. But through American Cancer Society and through Melissa's Pink Pals, I know you've met some wonderful friends. And talk about how their support has helped you, because I know you have a great group around you.
Right. The people at the American Cancer Society were great for me. Debbie Alexander and all the people that work with her. They provided me a lot of resources, which were great, that I could go out and check out. And as more people learned about my disease, more people came to my aid and my family's aid as support. So that's always been my goal, is to help others, those people that have been recently diagnosed, or whether it's someone that's been diagnosed 23 years ago, like our oldest survivor. We still have things that we could share.
And I'm telling you what, you are an inspiration to everybody here. This woman does not take no for an answer, and I know you're going to continue to fight, and we're going to keep you in our prayers. And God bless your 2 sons, too. I love those boys. They're sweet boys.
Yes, they are, most of the time.
They keep you busy. You don't have time to be sick. This woman does not have time to keep sick.
Soccer.
They keep her very busy. All right, Jim, we're going to send things up to you for just a little bit. Check out the weather.
All right, well, our weather is actually improving across the area. Temperatures, though, have been on the cool side because of the clouds. We're in the 50s. Now, it's 50 degrees, one of the coolest readings up in Winnsboro, 54 in Newberry, in Columbia, in St. Matthews, Orangeburg, 53 degrees in Sumter, and 52 in Camden. Tonight, we're expecting clear skies over the area. The clouds are moving out. It'll be that way. Tomorrow, we'll see sunshine, but in the afternoon, we'll start to see some clouds coming through. A quick burst of clouds come through. We'll be back to sunshine early Thursday morning, and then we won't see much in the way of clouds until late afternoon into the evening hours. That's when the clouds increase. We'll start to see a few showers. Most of the rain, though, will be on Friday. Tonight, though, with the clear skies, we're expecting some cold temperatures. 28 Newberry and Winnsboro, with a high tomorrow of 55 degrees. Here in Columbia, we should drop down to 31 with a high temperature tomorrow of 57 degrees. For Sumter, you can expect a low of 30, 31 down in Orangeburg. High temperatures of 56 in Bishopville to 58 degrees in Orangeburg. And here's our 7-day forecast. We're going to see a couple of dry days. On Thursday, mostly sunny, 60 degrees, but during the early morning hours of Friday, some rain begins to move in. Rain likely on Friday, and also Friday night, 47 degrees. Not a big change in temperatures on Friday. A chilly, rainy day. It gets a little bit better on Saturday. Still some rain, but 64 degrees. We'll see a break on Sunday, 67. Then we're going to see more rain coming in for Monday and Tuesday with high temperatures in the low to mid 60s. Now let's go back to Darcy.
Jim, thank you so much. You know, a lot of times it's our toughest times when we come up with the best ideas, and that's how this next story was born. Now, when Kim Neal was battling breast cancer, she complained to her friend Sherry Norris that she could never find the right bra. So they started talking about it, and you know how ladies are. We get together and we come up with a solution, and guess what? They did that, and that solution is Alayla, and it is now giving women across the Midlands an opportunity to deal with a potentially deadly disease in a way that makes them feel pretty every day. Andrea Mock had a chance to stop by the Alayla shop, and here's what she found.
We're inside one of the beautiful fitting rooms here at Alayla. We all know what happens at the hospital, but after the hospital is when part of the real healing begins and finding out how to go about your day-to-day life, and that's where Alayla steps in and helps you.
One of the first things that we do is we find out how far along they are. Sometimes they come in right after the mastectomy, and at that point in time, typically if it's a full mastectomy, they still have their drain tubes in. Back in the day, women would have to wear shoelaces around their necks and hold on to those drain tubes, but we've come a long way, baby, let me just tell you. One of the items that we have here, it's a post-surgical camisole for them to wear right after surgery, so it gives them a little bit support for the breast that's still there, and it also has little pouches on the inside that will hold on to those drain tubes.
Wow, so it's actually Velcro on the inside of this. You only have to wear one piece.
And you just connect it on there, and away you go. Also, with these camisoles, you also get a breast form to kind of help replace that shape that you're missing at that point in time.
I'm going to grab the breast form here. So right away, you said that you actually can't have anything heavy on your chest. Explain that to our viewers.
Correct. We want to make sure that everyone's healing properly. A lot of times the surgeons have them bandaged still, so you don't want to add any pressure or weight to that chest wall until they're healed completely. Then you can transition over to what we call a leisure bra.
Okay, let's look at these leisure bras.
This is it. This is a leisure bra. Inside the leisure bras is a pocket right here, and that's where we place the breast form. And also, if you notice, the leisure bras, they hook in the front, because right after surgery you do not have that normal range of motion that you would normally have.
Feeling normal and feeling pretty is so important, so I love the idea. You don't always want to be in a white or nude bra, Sherry. Sometimes you want to spice it up and feel a little cute and sassy, and you guys have something for that too.
Absolutely. Even for right after surgery, for the leisure bras now, they actually come with different patterns. We have hearts and leopard print.
Really quickly, before we go, tell me about how your expertise and Kim's expertise during this difficult time really helps the patient through this phase of their treatment.
A lot of times once they're diagnosed, they hear that they have cancer, and so they just kind of they're worried about saving their life at that point in time. And so that's what we're here to do, is to help transition them back to their life again.
Oh, I love that, Sherry. Thank you so much. All right, stay with us, because coming up next on Friends at 5, we're going to talk about what happens after the post-surgery step. The wigs and the scarves, they have all of that here too at Alayla. So we're going to talk about that when we come back. are back downstairs at WLTX with all these wonderful ladies. We are doing our special buddy call, Friends at 5 today.
Do not adjust your set. Of course, everything you see today is in pink. It's the 19th of the month. We want to remind you to call your buddy and remind them to perform their self-breast exam, because early detection obviously is the key to saving your life, and it's the reason why all of these ladies are here today. So you want to make sure everybody's watching, okay? And it's really easy for you to do that. Just about everybody watching us today has a Facebook account. So go to our WLTX page, click on the News 19 Buddy Call sticker, share it with all your friends, and make sure that they're watching this show, because it really is the kind of newscast that changes lives.
So many of us have survivors in our family, and when you have a survivor in your family, you think to yourself, okay, what can I do to make sure this never happens to anybody else I love again? Well, you have a unique opportunity to do something. American Cancer Society is having their 3rd ever research study, and they are inviting you, yes, I mean you, to be a part of it. We're looking for 1,000 people right here in the Midlands to sign up for this. It's a 20-year commitment, but each of those years, it's only going to take you 15 minutes that you have to fill out a survey. Take a listen of why this is something everybody should do.
My grandmother tell my mom that she had cancer, and I don't want either of my daughters to have to do that. And this is just, it's a small way and a minimal commitment that we can fight back and do this for our children and our grandchildren.
And that's what you do. You fight back. I've said many times on this show before, my mom is a cancer survivor. I lost my grandma to breast cancer. So I'm enrolling to this study because it feels like I'm being proactive and I can do something to make sure that the next generation of people that I love don't have to deal with cancer. So if you would like to sign up for this study or learn more about it, we've made it very easy for you, no excuses. Go to WLTX.com, click on the info tab. There you're going to find everything you need to know about this study, or you can go to the Buddy Call page and look for the information there too as well. You just have to be 30 to 65 years old, and you do have to give blood once, Darcy, but it's just once. It's not a little finger prick. Every 20 years.
Just one time.
It's not 20 times in 20 years.
Yes.
It's just once, I promise. I'm a wimp. If I can do it, you can do it. I promise.
We all know that surviving breast cancer is about having a support system, and we're so excited that 2 huge local groups are here. We have the Pink Posse here, and we have the Tatinis here. We're going to hear from both those groups coming up a little bit later in our newscast.
So stay with us. More Friends at 5 up after the break.
From News 19, this is Friends at 5 with Darcy Strickland, Andrea Mock, and South Carolina's weatherman, Jim Gandy.
Back to the second half hour of Friends at 5 on this 19th of the month. I'm Darcy Strickland.
And I'm Andrea Mock, and we are obviously thinking pink today, and in a big way. Just like Darcy said, it is the 19th of the month, and that is when we remind you to pick up the phone or send a text and remind your buddy to do a self-breast exam, because a self-breast exam is the #1 way you are going to catch it early and save your own life.
WLTX has been your buddy call station for years and years and years, and I've talked to hundreds of women who've told me that they found their lump themselves, the women who've told me that they had to have a mammogram to find it. But one thing for sure, every last one of these women who are here today can attest to the fact that early detection is the key to saving your life.
We are going to get a chance to talk to more of our survivors in just a little bit, but we want to first have a check of the news of the day. For that, we go to J.R. Berry.
All right, ladies, thank you. Updating a story that happened during our broadcast last night. We now know it was actually 2 officers who shot and wounded an armed robbery suspect in Columbia. Last night, we were being told it was just 1 officer. Columbia police say the suspect was shot after a short chase. Officers had ordered 46-year-old Gregory Johnston to stop several times. They fired after it appeared that Johnston was drawing a gun from his pocket. Chief Randy Scott told us that Johnston went into the store and threatened customers and a clerk before leaving with an undisclosed amount of money. SLED is investigating while the officers are on paid administrative leave. The governor has announced the names of over 150 people who have agreed to help get her reelected. This comes after reiterating she won't decide until this summer whether she's seeking a second term. The governor said that State Republican Party Chairman Chad Conley will serve as chairman of a statewide grassroots steering committee. The committee of 164 consists of at least 1 person from each of the 46 counties. The announcement comes 4 months after former Chief of Staff Tim Pearson left that post to head up her possible reelection campaign. And today, Richland deputies announced a new notification system that's going to help keep residents in the county informed. It's called the Sheriff's Alert System. With this program now, residents can receive text alerts and other messages about current crimes, missing children, and other newsworthy events in the community. For example, if a child is missing, they can send alerts directly to a specific neighborhood in efforts to help find that missing child.
Well, the damp weather that we've been seeing is heading on out. The clouds will be moving out shortly, and we're going to be left with clear skies and cold temperatures tonight, down to 31 degrees. Then for tomorrow, it'll be partly cloudy, 57 degrees, with a few more clouds coming through tomorrow evening, but still a cold night with a low of 31. It should be nice on Thursday, 60 degrees, but clouds will be increasing Thursday night. By early Friday morning, that rain begins to move in, and rain will be likely Friday night into Saturday. Now, a chilly day on Friday, 47 for a high temperature, but 64 on Saturday. Sun returns Sunday with a high temperature of 67. Now let's check on the latest traffic here in Columbia. We're going to start on the northeast side of town. Traffic continues to flow pretty nice out to I-77 toward the Blythewood area, and also on I-20 toward Clemson Road. On the southwest side of town, going out to Swansea Highway, just a few slow spots, but in general, the traffic is moving in pretty good shape. On the northwest side of town, we still have that accident on St. Andrews and Bush River Road, but the interstate 126 to I-26 going out to Harbison Boulevard in pretty good shape, and really not too bad going out the Lexington Highway. Right now, from downtown to Harbison Boulevard will take you about 14 minutes. Now let's go back to Andrea and Darcy.
Thank you so much, Jim. On the 19th of the month, we feature an inspirational story of a woman in our community battling breast cancer.
Every month, I have the pleasure of going out and talking to these phenomenal women who feel like I'm doing them a favor, but honestly, they do me a favor every time I get a chance to share their story. One of those ladies, and it's hard to just pick one because I've talked to hundreds. They're all fabulous, but there was just something about Deidre Duncan that every time I go back and visit with her, she has the best attitude and the biggest smile, and viewers always ask me about her.
She has the spunk.
She has the spunk.
Let's look at her story.
I can't wake up every morning to die. I have to wake up every morning to live.
Almost 3.5 years ago, Deidre Duncan told us she was dead set on living, and nothing about that has changed.
Stage 4 doesn't mean an automatic death sentence.
Her survivor story is more than just inspirational. It's informational.
I was always vigilant about doing myself breast exams. I found my own tumor, and it was still not early enough.
For more than 36 months, the disease has tried to take over her body.
It's probably easy to tell you where it hadn't been, but it's in my bones, my spine, my pelvis, my liver, lymph nodes. I think that's it thus far.
The weight of cancer is made just a little lighter by a support system that starts with her 3-year-old daughter.
She's the reason why I have to do this. She is one of the sole reasons I am doing this. I have to see her grow up. I will see her grow up. She understands I have cancer at 3.
But for every tear, there are twice as many laughs.
See? Get my good side.
Everybody can connect with a mother's love, that is for sure, and you love your baby.
Oh my God.
And you are gonna fight to the end for this baby.
And you know, the awesome thing is when I talked to you, she was 3, but she is now
going on 5.
Going on 5. Yeah. So she is 4 years surviving stage 4 cancer.
4.
How did you do it?
God, my faith, and I have surrounded myself with a circle of soldiers. And those soldiers are my girlfriends, my family, my church members, that I don't fight this alone. When I go in for my chemo, my scans, I have them with me. So, and for those like your grandmother who's passed on, I take their memories with me. So this is not a fight that I'm fighting just for myself. These ladies here and the ones up in heaven, you know, I go in with that attitude.
I want to talk about how you started your story because it gave me goosebumps, and I remember what you said. I can't wake up every day and die. I have to wake up every day and live. Talk about that attitude and how you are able to keep that.
For those of us who are constantly fighting it stage 4 breast cancer or any type of cancer, there are going to be days that it's not going to be good. You're not going to feel good. It's going to be ugly. But in the whole scheme of things, you have to say what is important: living. So I cannot wake up with this attitude that I'm going to die. I have to wake up and say, okay, what's next on the horizon? I just finished my remodeling my home, and so next I have to see my daughter graduate high school, and then college, and then so on and so on. There are going to be bad days, but they're going to be just days.
You have things to do.
I have things to do.
Let me say, you are living in this outfit.
I'm just telling you,
fabulous.
it is giving me life.
Erin,
this
get a full
outfit.
shot of this. She is living in this outfit.
It is giving me life. That outfit is.
We said spunk and we meant spunk.
We love her. We love her. My Charleston homegirl. We love you. All right. So Deidre, your baby's 4.
She is.
So we're talking about good teachers. She's got some good teachers, right?
They know. They better know. They have this type of mother, so yes, I have good teachers.
Of course, we always feature our Golden Apple Teacher of the Week. Let's take a look at another inspirational educator.
When Constance Maxwell reads a story to her 5th graders,
I probably couldn't hear me screaming because that roach was so loud.
They hear and hold on to every word.
I spread my fingers and my hand looked like a yellow jacket bumblebee. Tell me what kind of figurative language that is.
Her love for teaching started very simply when she loved everything about a really good 4th grade teacher named Miss Gardner.
I just loved the way she looked. I loved the way she dressed. I loved the way her classroom was set up. She was always so calm and sweet, and she didn't jump your case and yell at you, and she just made everything so much fun.
A native of Detroit, Michigan, she married her Central Michigan University College sweetheart and ended up in Orangeburg County. Mr. Maxwell teaches and coaches basketball at Carver Edisto Middle School.
We figured it'd be easier for us both to move somewhere where they were hiring instead of staying in Michigan where there were no jobs.
The decision to move looks like the best thing that could have happened not only for her, but for the kids at Edisto Elementary School. Knock, knock. Hi, Miss Maxwell. How are you? I'm Darcy with WLTX. You're our Golden Apple winner. Congratulations.
Being a teacher sometimes is hard, and sometimes you don't feel appreciated, and this really lets me know that I'm appreciated, and I do love you all so much.
Her job is just a part of her life. It is her life to come in and to be a role model for these students and to lead them in any way possible, because teaching has become a profession that involves so many other things than just the academics and just the book learning, so to speak. It's more about helping them to become productive citizens as they grow up.
You have to work with each individual student. They're not all the same, because as a teacher you would think, oh, they're all going to do what you say to do and they all learn the same way, and it's not like that at all.
But there's one thing they can all agree on. Miss Maxwell deserves the Golden Apple because
she's awesome. She's
awesome. Yes, Miss Maxwell is awesome. She's so much fun, and her reaction was so genuine. She was just kind of like, "What? Serious? Are you serious? I won?" I'm like, "Yes, you won."
Okay, right now we want you to take a minute and grab your iPad and download our free News 19 app, because in honor of today's special show and all of these survivors surrounding us, WLTX will donate $1 to the American Cancer Society for everybody that downloads the News 19 app before midnight tonight. So make sure that you do that, and we will be presenting American Cancer Society with a check, hopefully a big one. So grab your iPad. It's a free app, and it is really cool. Always get the latest news and weather and sports.
And you don't have to be near your computer. You can watch WLTX streaming live from your iPad. So you do something for free, and we give ACS $1. I mean, you cannot beat that deal. We do want to encourage you to go to WLTX.com. If you have not signed up for Buddy Call 19 yet, today is the day to do it. You can sign up for text alerts. Will go straight to your cell phone. WLTX will be your buddy, and we'll remind you to perform your self-breast exam.
You just have to text WLTX Buddy to 25543, and that way you'll get a text message right to your phone on the 19th of the month. But we have much more from the Sea of Pink when we come back.
Survivors, stay with us. after your treatment is over, it's time to get back home. It's time to get back to work. It's time to try to feel normal again. And sometimes that means you're going to need a little help, maybe in the way of a scarf or a wig or even a special bra. Well, at Alela here in Columbia, they can handle absolutely everything you need. News 19's Andrea Mock had a chance to check it out.
A little bit earlier on Friends at 5, Sherry explained to us what you will need right after you have your surgery in the first 6 to 8 weeks. After that, you're looking for something a little more permanent. So now we're in the wig room with Kim, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the mastectomy bra and how it works.
The mastectomy bras are actually different colors and stripes, patterns. We've got a zebra print right here, and if you open it up, you can see a little pocket, and in that pocket, you're ready to put in your breast prosthetic. We have them in blush and tawny, so you can get either one. You get measured a whole bunch of different ways, you know, with the band and across the top and left, right, and all those good measurements to make sure that you get a proper fit, because there's nothing like having a bra everybody knows at 5 o'clock that you're ripping off when you get home from work. So.
One of the other things, unfortunately, during chemotherapy, women will lose their hair, and you were saying it actually can be an uncomfortable process.
Losing your hair, the follicles on your head, they tend to get very sensitive, and your scalp gets hypersensitive, and so we are blessed that Oakwood Baptist Church has made us satin pillowcases, so they're nice and cool and soft and gentle on your head to sleep on, and then during the day they've also made caps that you can wear, and we've got some over here to show everybody.
And there are just a few of your wigs on display in this room, but the truth of the matter is you can make any wig in any size, any shape, any color.
Right. We have colors that if you're blonde, we've got like 16 colors of blonde: brown, red, auburn, and this is your big chance. If you've always wanted to be a redhead, you can go for it.
Obviously, the ladies have two choices, whether it's real hair or synthetic hair. Right. Tell me about your preference for each.
The synthetic hair we really like because whatever style you see here is what you get when you wash it. So it's wash and wear, throw and go. It's all set to go. The human hair can be styled, but depending on what kind of human hair you actually get, you may have to style it all the time. And when you're going through chemo, to be quite honest, that's the last thing you really want to worry about.
That really, a lot of times insurance will pay for it.
Yes, yes. Some insurance will even pay for wigs. Not very many, but some of the insurance companies. But Medicare, Medicaid for sure pay for mastectomy bras. They pay for your breast prosthetics, and it's very important, especially the Medicare folks, because people don't know, who've had 10, 15, 20 years out, they're survivors. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful thing that my bras can be covered and so can my breast prosthetics, because they can be pricey.
Kim and Sherry, thank you so much for what you guys have done today. And I know these two ladies on a personal level, and I promise no matter what you're going through, when you come to them, they'll make you feel better. They'll take care of you.
Well, for more information, simply go to our website at WLTX.com. You can find everything you need to know from Alela, about Alela, again on our website under the On Your Side tab. Look for Buddy Call 19, and then they'll take you on to Alela. All right, folks, stay with us. Coming up after the break, we're going to have more of Friends at 5, the Survivors Edition. That's after the break.
One of the most important things when you are going through breast cancer is finding others that have gone through the same thing. We have two awesome support groups represented here today. We have the Tatinis and the Pink Posse.
You got to be a part of one of those groups if you're a survivor. And Kim, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you too.
The last time I hung out with you guys, you girls, we were in Starbucks talking about being young survivors.
That's right, and that's really important. Early detection and young women, that saves lives, and that's what we're all about.
How old were you when you were diagnosed?
26 years old.
26 years old, and this is your 6th year surviving.
Right.
What do you stress to women at home about early detection?
Just do it. Don't shake it off. You're not too young. Just be aware of your body.
One good thing about the Tatinis is you girls know how to have a good time.
Yes,
you are all about celebrating life. What do you have coming up next?
Speaking of the 19th, April 19th, Fight Like a Girl to benefit SCOA. It's just a good time, celebration, raise money, raise awareness in the Midlands.
And you guys also have a Twitter account and a Facebook page, all that other good stuff.
Yes, hit us up on Facebook. We're everywhere, so yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
We want to talk about the American Cancer Society study, because that is how we look forward and find out how we all can be proactive, including you. It's a 20-year study, only takes 15 minutes of your time, and they need everybody to sign up. Listen why.
Diversity of population is essential. Right now, the average enrollee is a 46-year-old Caucasian female. And what that tells us is that the research that can be done will be done on that demographic. So diversity is extraordinarily important. Every female that we enroll we pull their arm and we say, you need to go back and get your husband and have him enroll.
Are looking for men and women for this study. You just have to be between the ages of 30 and 65 and be cancer free. But this is what we can do for our loved ones that we've lost and our loved ones who are still fighting the disease.
All right, folks, we want you to remember signing up is easy. Go to WLTX.com, click on your side and sign up for Buddy Call 19.
More Friends at 5 with the Tatinis and the Pink Posse when we come back. A huge thank you to everybody who made today possible, especially Chad Ridenauer at Rosewood Florist, and also the diner. We had delicious sandwiches and drinks for the ladies to celebrate this day.
It was great, and we could not have done this without Michael Purcell and the Palmetto Cheesecake Company. And how about all this Sea of Pink Palmetto Party Rentals? Thank you so much. This is so much fun.
And most importantly today, we want to say thank you to the Tatinis and the Pink Posse for being here, being courageous, and sharing their stories with us.
Survivors, a big round of applause for all of our survivors.
One of the most important things, sign up for Buddy Call 19. Early detection is truly the key.